how is everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone's having a great day. This is probably about like the fourth time I've had to redo this intro because, well, allergy season is still cha-ching, cha-ching. Woo! Yeah, it's still getting my bum kicked by allergy season. It's been horrific, but hopefully it is going to go bye-bye very soon. If you're not having a great day, have no worries. Tomorrow is Friday, not to mention the start of the weekend is very near, so hopefully that cheers you up. But just remember that, well, if you're having a bad day, you always got the following day, the next week, and so forth and so forth and so forth. Unless every day is bad, well then, that kind of sounds like the last couple weeks of my nasal cavity with this pollen everywhere. How do some people survive? I never had this issue years ago, but all of a sudden I'm just dying from allergies. Okay, we have a lot to talk about today. I haven't seen y'all probably in about the last 3-4 days. Actually been out of state, back and forth here and there. And before I dive into the topic of today's video, this playlist is going to be in the description. The Last of Us. Actually, I'll probably go ahead and make this the top pinned comment playlist for today's video. All these videos of podcast style content is in here. We're racking up the numbers to 74. I have other playlists as well, such as 2004scape, etc., etc. But today we're going to be talking about getting hijacked, hacked, as far back as 2005 and basically, let's just say RuneScape 2, and also hypothetically getting hacked on modern day RuneScape, because Jagex is actually doing something very awesome. Player support is changing, 2025 roadmap. This was posted on Old School RuneScape website, which is RuneScape. And then this is also posted on RuneScape 3, which is RuneScape. I mean, if you're having an issue with your account can be used on RuneScape 3 and also Old School RuneScape. But it's something that needs to really be talked about. Oh, man. What also needs to really be talked about is I got to take a plunger and... yeah, my throat's killing me right now. Oh, apologize for the raspiness. Hopefully the audio isn't too bad, right? Let's go back to 2008 NightmareRH to my headset days. But no, we're going to be spending quite a bit of time in this video going over what would happen hypothetically if you got your account hacked, hijacked, taken away from you back in 2005. I'm just throwing out 2005 because that's when I started playing RuneScape. My 20-year anniversary is coming up next month. I can't even believe it's May 1st already. Or rather, I can't even believe it's May of 2025. My 17-year anniversary as a content creator is coming up in a couple weeks. And then next month, June, is my 20th year playing this game. It's unreal. But there is a big difference from getting hijacked in 2005 versus 2025. We're going to be covering that momentarily, but I do want to talk about something else. It's a little difficult to talk about. I was actually been going back and forth out of state, helping a close friend deal with some lifestyle issues right now. Pretty much alcoholism lifestyle. And I've been spreading a lot of awareness on this channel ever since December and stuff, spreading awareness about kidney disease health, which I have a playlist which I'll talk later about in this video, spreading nutritional health, spreading good vibes. I'm honestly to the point where toxic stuff just really is not worth it anymore, because every single time that I have to deal with toxic stuff, it always bites me in the ass. It really does. If you don't know what I'm talking about, for example, on RuneScape, the word toxic is basically pretty much referred to as people fighting, arguing, going back and forth it may seem cool in the moment, but at the end of the day, for me, it always bites me in my ass. It really does. It's remarkable. Like, years ago, I loved it and I encouraged it. And I'm talking about like 2009, 10, 11, 12, all about being a troll. But now it's like, it's just, stop. You know, play the damn game. Stop fighting and arguing, and that's what RuneScape is. It's a game. It's supposed to be... A lot of people use RuneScape as an escape for, like, behavioral health reasons. They use it as an escape rather than doing drugs. They use playing... What is better? Being addicted to playing RuneScape or being addicted to sticking a needle in your arm? I would rather that individual play RuneScape. I really would. The way that I've been dealing with my issues, honestly, is really typing and stuff. For me, I've had to cut out a tremendous amount of nutritional bullshit in the last year of my life, such as sugary drinks, energy drinks, alcohol. My last drink was November 22nd of last year. Just everything unhealthy I've had to cut out. The way I deal with that is, honestly, I do a lot of typing. It's resulted in me being a self-published author. And I'm actually brainstorming like other ideas around, like, you know, writing and stuff. So I'm honestly really all anti, or it's not worth my time dealing with toxic behavior anymore. But yeah, there are people that do use RuneScape as a coping mechanism, which is a lot better. But anyways, spreading awareness. I do want to talk a little bit about spreading some alcohol awareness. That might be the most, like, unpopular thing to talk about, especially if you just clicked on this video. Yeah, if you're new here, we expect a lot of rambling on to good vibes, though. Good information. When I say alcohol, I don't mean, like, having a beer or getting drunk or getting blackout drunk. That's not what I'm talking about, okay? I have never been in my life a full-blown functional alcoholic before. I've always been a drunk. I've always been a binge drinker. If anyone out there has ever gone out partying with me, you would be getting shots handed to you left and right. I have gone on binging days where I've drank for like 4 days in a row. Yeah, I think the longest I've ever drank before in a row was 4 days. Actually, no, I do remember one time was 5 days, but I never woke up and just started drinking. I never got to like that level and stuff. But I mean, hey, if you wanna call me an alcoholic, by all means, do so. Like I said, my last alcoholic drink, White Claws, was November 22nd of last year. So be it. I mean, honestly, looking back a lot on my life, yeah, I probably most likely was a binge drinking functional type of alcoholic in a way. Functional in the sense not being intoxicated all the time, but functional meaning that 2 to maybe 3 days out of the week I would be sober, and then the rest I'd be drunk by like 5 p.m. and stuff like that. Or rather start drinking by 5 p.m. Anyways, I had to help out a friend because this individual actually approached me and said, I don't know how to stop drinking. I've tried, but I need some help. Pretty much like a addict asking for help, like in a way, right? This friend of mine knows, you know, what I'm going through for like nutritional, like health and stuff. And this person has seen, especially in the last 5-6 months since I came out public with this, pretty much seen how I've been able to cut out sugar from my life. I've cut out alcohol from my life. I've the only thing that goes into my body is purely Mother Nature. And I'm very much into a carnivore style lifestyle now, where it's very meat heavy. but it takes a tremendous amount of discipline, and it was not easy. The only thing that I can really say is that I've retrained my brain, and I'm really good at doing that, not to mention being consistent. I mean, hey, look, there's some things that you definitely got to admit. I am a resilient motherfucker, because these videos don't get as many views as they used to, but yet I still upload them for the people that are still here. So I am definitely a resilient human being, and if I put my mind to something, I'm going to do it. And so anyways, when I say full-blown spread alcohol awareness, I mean like a full-blown alcoholic. My friend is the type of alcoholic that wakes up in the morning and grabs a beer not to get drunk, because when you are a full-blown alcoholic, I'm talking you wake up in the morning, you start drinking, you're no longer drinking to get drunk. Like when you are an alcoholic, having one beer doesn't get you drunk. You're doing it to stay alive. A lot of people don't know this. Alcohol is very dangerous. You can be addicted to cocaine, methamphetamines, ecstasy, MDMA, THC, nicotine, caffeine. If you withdraw from all of those, I'm not 100% expert, but I'm pretty sure if you withdraw from all of those, you're not gonna die. It's all gonna be psychological effects. Last year I did a 2-week caffeine purge. Oh, the panic attacks were horrendous. Woo-wee! It was pretty bad. So yeah, it's psychological. But if you withdraw from heroin, fentanyl, other like Oxycontins, Percocets, if you alcohol, you can die. It's unreal. So, a full-blown alcoholic will wake up in the morning, start drinking, and it's a daily process. You're taking water bottles with you to work. You're exchanging water with vodka. You're drinking on the side. You're waking up in the middle of the night to do shots of tequila because your body needs the drug. It's very dangerous, especially if you have been doing that for years. That's when you can pretty much die. Now, if I were to start doing that like right off the bat and stop, I'm talking about the person that I'm talking about is someone who's been doing this for a very long time, unfortunately. And the awareness I want to spread is that if somebody ever comes up to you, it doesn't matter what substance, illegal or legal, you should never ever. It's very hard, especially if it is an illegal substance, but you got to keep in the back of your mind that somebody has a courage to approach you and say, hey, I've been doing this. I need help. I don't know how to quit. I've tried quitting and I can't. I don't know where to go. I am a very self-educating, tech-savvy human being where I use AI and I use Google my entire life. I mean, Google is a search engine, and it's very easy for me to solve my own problems and self-educate myself. Not a lot of people, they do that. You know, a lot of people out there are not tech savvy. So someone with a problem may come to you someday and say, hey, I have this problem. I don't know what to do. Just please don't be an asshole, is what I'm saying. I have been in interventions before. And I was in one years ago, actually almost close to a decade now. And it was for a different friend addicted to Oxycontins, buying them off the street. And someone that I knew was in the intervention, and this person was I believe still is a police officer, and was laying into the person that we're doing the intervention for. When I say laying into, I mean like being like a drill instructor and just going off on this, saying, what you're doing is stupid, it's illegal, it's wrong, you need to cut that shit, blah, 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 blah. You just being a drill instructor, right? In my opinion, people like that, especially in an intervention, need to be bitch slapped. If someone ever comes to you for help, I mean, it can be anything, even like suicide. Yeah, I mean, it can be all thrown into one. It's definitely, but please, by all means, just point them into a right direction is like the best way to really get there. But there's a lot of really good resources, especially if you are watching this and potentially do have a problem of any kind, whether it's any type of addiction, and you're struggling with that addiction. I would definitely say probably approach a person that is open-minded and will listen to you. Like my friend knew that I am a open-minded human being and I'm not going to jump on you for having a problem in life. I have a problem within me, so I'm never gonna judge someone for seeking help for having a problem. But if anyone out there does have an issue, I would really say find someone that you trust, find someone that you can open up to, and just be honest, saying, hey, I'm ready to end this lifestyle, and I need to really, I don't know how, I've tried, can you please help me and find the right way? Long story short, I did point my friend into a good direction to actually get linked up with a state-run type of program in his state. So should be good. Hopefully, and keep praying for him as well. But yeah, key takeaways about alcohol awareness. Someone ever approaches you, please don't be an asshole. And if you are on the opposite side of any type of addiction, find someone that is open-minded and isn't going to jump on you and is actually going to listen to you and pay attention to you. Okay, that was a mouthful, but it's hopefully that's good info, and hopefully that info finds someone good as well. Okay, I do apologize if you did click on this video and expect some RuneScape content. Yeah, you just got like an earful of a bunch of other stuff, but it's good info. Okay, my voice has never been more raspier in my life, and let's dive into this finally now. Player support is changing. 2025 roadmap. Let's go ahead and see. So it's very similar on the old school RuneScape site, which also is the 2025. I mean, it's the same on RuneScape 3 as well. I believe it's very minimal type stuff, but this is posted on both things. So they're basically talking about the support provision, support for provision, resolving account issues, improved ban appeals, live chat support. If you're noticing a trend over time with Jagex, they're really more so taking a awareness care into their players. Talk about spreading awareness. Yeah, we're going to be spreading some Jagex love awareness, huh? I have done so many videos about ranting and raving and mother humping Jagex years ago. It's kind of really hard to say that it's been like almost 17 years. It's really like, it's unreal if you really think about it. And every single rant and rave video that I did, especially the video where I kept saying Jagex effed us again, that was because Jagex did not make it. Jagex, I believe it was 2010. It was the Thanksgiving event. Jagex put the Thanksgiving event from the previous year. So they basically pretty much were lazy. And all the times that I've ranted and raved saying this company does, I mean, look, 2005, if your account got hacked, goodbye. See ya. It's over. And it's gone. South Park. And it's gone. And it's gone. Goodbye. Goodbye. 2025, there might be a lot of hope for, like, account recoveries. And it's depending on what happens, I think is really the case of the matter. But I remember a point in time where if you did anything bad, it was just like, it was gone. Account sharing, it's, oh boy, I'm going to get roasted for this one. Let me know down below. Is account sharing still legal or illegal? I thought they removed it. I've actually have had never one. I've never had someone on my account before. Makes me honestly really paranoid. So, but there are people out there that do account share, and I mean it's a little like hard, or rather multi-logging. I think it's either or. Go back 20 years ago to 2005. This is a memory story right here. When I first started playing this game back in 2005, I remember I asked my two real life friends. I said, "Hey, what happens if my account gets hijacked?" And my two friends that got me into this game, both their names were Matt, which is pretty funny. Matt and Matt. You're done. Like it's over. I mean, the only security that Jagex had back in 2005 was, I believe, account recovery questions. And if somebody knew those, here's your bumhole, just right there. It's pow right in the kisser. You're done. There is so much security today. It's pretty remarkable, and it does make me feel very safe, from bank pin security to email address security to two-step verification. I don't use the Jagex launcher, but I've heard that, hey, it is pretty like secure. I use Steam, which is another layer of security as well. So I mean, there's a bunch of added security on like this game in 2025 versus 2005. And I just found it so ironic that I remember I was literally over my friend's house watching him play on his account. You're talking about 2005. I was watching my friend play RuneScape on a oh man. This is gonna throw nostalgia down some of y'all's, throats. I was watching my friend play RuneScape on one of those big, gigantic, old school monitors. The gigantic, like, big ones. And he was on Windows 2000 Millennial Edition operating system. Oh! Oh! Oh, yeah. It's such a shitty system. My favorite was Windows 2000 Server Edition. But yeah, Windows 2000 Millennial Edition operating system. I believe his desktop was a Gateway. No, it might have been HP. I had a Gateway computer years ago. But yeah, I believe he was. Anyways, I remember that I was just, I've always been a very curious human being, and it's always worked out in my favor, especially now when it comes to my health. I ask a lot of questions. I encourage everyone to ask questions. You should always question things. I mean, hell, question me. I encourage it. But I remember asking, I'm like, well, what do we do if our accounts get taken? And my friend, like, smirked and said, don't have an easy password. This is bringing back so many memories of my life, of my teenage years. It's not even funny. Oh, man. Like, talk about a great way to remember some hidden memories. What made me create insanely hard passwords, and I encourage this for everyone. People have approached me over the years saying, hey, my account got hijacked, plus my email address. What should I do? The first question I ask them is, do you have a universal password? Yeah. NightmareRH does not have a universal password. I have so many different passwords. I have them. I have a lot written down on, believe it or not, like papers. And they're in, like, my safe. I'm one of those type of people. And then I do have them elsewhere on my computer, just in case. But they're definitely hidden and tucked away in places that people wouldn't necessarily really think to look about. You got to remember that. You got to be smart in that area. I have so many email addresses for various things. I have backups on everything. So I encourage... I mean, oh man, we are spreading awareness in every single way, shape, and form. We're spreading addiction awareness. We're spreading not to be an asshole awareness. We're spreading RuneScape awareness. We're spreading, we're spreading security awareness. You guys are getting a badass video, huh? Yeah, it's a really good one. Oh man, I'm revved up. Not to mention, I did have some afternoon coffee a little over an hour ago, but. Okay, the point that I'm saying is that you should always have, like, never have a universal account. I mean, never have a universal password. My information that I log on to 2004 RuneScape, it's completely different. I actually made a new Discord username with a brand new email address, with a brand new password to the Discord account, to the new email address, and a new password for my login information on 2004scape, just in case. That's the type of security that you need to have in life. If you don't do that, consider doing that. But it's kind of getting a little bit off topic here because I do want to go over some of this stuff. However, long story short, 2005, I remember having that conversation with my friend. And it kind of really just sparked in my brain that I gotta be a strategic mother humper. And I gotta create, like, a badass password and make sure, nobody steals my account. And, I mean, hey, NightmareRH 20 years later, huh? So, what it comes down to is that if you were to get your account stolen, even as far back as, let's say, 2009, 10, 11, maybe even I would say, in my personal opinion, the thing that broke Jagex's back was EOC. That's honestly what did it. EOC was the hard spear in the back. But we got to respect EOC. I actually just got 103 rune crafting on EOC. Yeah, there's 110 rune crafting now on EOC. I'm using my daily genie lamps to level it up. Go figure, right? But you got to love and respect EOC, and I do. Even though I am a RS3 RuneScapian still, just 1 hour per day. But you got to respect EOC because EOC broke Jagex's back to make old school RuneScape, and that is when the perspective of we're just gonna do whatever, it went away. That was the equivalent of, like, pretty much a revolution happening within a country. Not a civil war. I don't think it's a civil war because we did not take over Jagex. I don't work at Jagex. Content creators don't, they're not running Jagex. They're definitely providing feedback and stuff like that. But we didn't lead a civil war. There was no slaughtering, it wasn't any of that, right? It was honestly really not a civil war. It was a revolution. That's what it was. A la resistance. The revolution against EOC to say, hey, we're leaving the game. Like, screw this. We're done with it. And you're talking a drop of 2/3 of people. Yeah, that's what created the old school RuneScape team. And since then, the old school RuneScape team has been locked down. And that's what made the RS3 team do the same. The RS3 team is like, hey, we gotta be more into social media. We got to be more into the people that play this game, and we gotta hear them out. And ever since then, like, Jagex and the player base has been parallel. Because years ago, the player base in Jagex was never parallel. Being parallel is good. Jagex goes up, the player base goes up. It used to be, I mean, before EOC came out, you had Jagex doing whatever they wanted to do. By the grace of God, we got PKing to come back to the game in 2000. It was late 2010. It was a poll. The trade limit went away, but I mean, you know, beginning of 2008, the trade limit came out. The Grand Exchange came out. It pissed off a lot of people. Even though the graphics of the game didn't change, the combat style of the game didn't change, it still irritated a lot of people. So you always had Jagex going up, and you always had, like, you know, a squiggly line in the player base being affected. Now it's really not bad. Some of the stuff that is in here, it's really worth a read to actually do. 31% was satisfied. 39% was unsatisfied. 39% felt neutral. I am guilty. I actually did not partake in any of this survey or vote, rather. I've been honestly really, really busy over the last, like, weekish and stuff, and even more in the last couple days. But 94 said being able to easily... 94% of people, yeah, like, it's true. And then you got 45, Jagex is performing poorly. This is big numbers. For Jagex to go ahead and release these, that means that they're willing to make a difference. And that shows that the company is really trying to do every single thing they can. And we're moving into a new era where it is completely the opposite over 10 years and 20 years ago. I mean, 20 years ago, to be honest, I didn't even know what Jagex was. Oh, God, that's so stupid for me to say. I'll admit it. How many of you all out there 20 years ago thought that RuneScape was the name of the company and not Jagex? I was one of those loony bins. Yeah, because Jagex just was so far away from their player base. Like that's how it used to be. Now Jagex is really involved in their player base. Jagex cares, and that's definitely a very big win. But I mean, it could be because it's probably all about leadership. If you really want my honest personal opinion, I mean, everything comes down with leadership. You get a new president, you get a new CEO, and you have a different style of leadership. We may get a bad CEO in the future. Who knows? Just like, hey, in a country you may get a bad president. Who knows? So it's one of those things. I just remember that being able to reach Jagex in 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, even when I was getting views out the wazoo, 11, 20, it was very different. Very much different. Now it really seems like, hey, you can be a little fish and reach out to Jagex, which is so good. Absolutely so good. All right, on a closing note, I just want to say that this game has progressed over the years, and it has shocked the hell out of me. I have videos where I can probably find and pull up where I was ranting and raving about Jagex being terrible and Jagex not listening to their player base. I am so glad that the company proved me wrong. Woo! I'm actually really excited to see more and more of this great support play out, because there are a bunch of terrible people on this game that just want to hurt good people, just like how there's a bunch of terrible people out there that want to hurt people in general. And there are people that live to hijack other people. Hopefully with the player support now coming a little better, that, hey, if somebody's account gets hijacked for whatever reason, Hopefully Jagex can come to the rescue. That's really what I'm hoping. And faster response times, yeah, you know, improved Jagex security, account hijacking detection. This will be awesome. Summer improved ban appeal process. That would be awesome. Yeah, live chat implementation. That's kind of like, in a way, the Blizzard chat, anti-cheating. So yeah, account secure recovery. Yeah, this is really, really good. This is a big win. All right, I'm gonna wrap stuff up here. Once again, we spreaded a lot of awareness in this video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this content and made it to this far into the video, smash the subscribe button, the like button, and also if you know anyone out there who's suffering with kidney issues, I'm using a dietary approach, which is working very much in my favor. It's not popular and it's not fun at first, but I crave actually a steak now, believe it or not, instead of sugar. So the longer you do it, your taste buds are going to change. Definitely check out these videos. All the links are down below. And if you want more of NightmareRH, definitely check out my book on Amazon. That link will be down below in the description too. Vito, NightmareRH Zombie Experience. All right, I love you all, and I'll see you